And welcome back. In this video I'm going to be kind of putting together some highlights from putting together both the left flap and the left aileron. And now I say I'm doing the highlights because I've already done these for the right wing, and if you've seen most of my videos you've seen this process when I did the right wing, and they're identical. So just kind of showing the process and kind of showing where I'm at in my build. Now, as of today, it's middle of December, and it's actually been about a month or so since I put out my last video. These kind of, the holidays make it a little difficult to actually get out and do some of this work and work on the airplane, which is, unfortunate, but it's the way of life. So, kind of putting together what I can, trying to show you where I'm at and update everybody. I'm actually at the point now where I've got a lot of small things to do to finish out the wings. I'm waiting for my fuselage kit, which hopefully will arrive in the beginning of February. And so now I'm doing all the small stuff, all the small projects that need to finish out these wings. And as you see here, putting the left flap together. So once I got these two components done, really it's a matter of working on the Adahar's mounting bracket and mounting the pitot mount. And that's the part where I'm kind of stuck at right now, is figuring out how exactly I want to put the pitot mount in, which bay I want to put it in, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm kind of working on now, while I'm also trying to deal with the holidays. I think that for the most part I've got everything planned out. One of the other things I still have to do, obviously, is the wingtips, which we're working with fiberglass, trying to get that all done right. I still have to do the fly LEDs, the wingtip light kits. I have all of that. I just need to assemble it all together and put it in. And then aside from that, it's just a matter of closing up the bottom skins on the wings. So quite a bit of stuff to do. It's just a bunch of small things. So hopefully I'll get past the holidays here and actually start putting all this together. I would like to get it all done before the fuselage kit arrives, but if it's still there, the wings aren't going anywhere, I'll be okay with it. So far with his flaps, putting everything together, obviously the big concern and the goal is trying to make sure that the trailing edge of all of these are straight as you can get them. It says to use weights. As you saw there, I was using some bottles of antifreeze. I didn't have any shot bags or anything like that I could use, so that was the heaviest things that I could find to kind of make sure everything was flat. But all in all, one of the things that you do on your flaps is that you make sure that both the hinge brackets are level, which I've got a digital leveler, and those are verified to be straight. And then once you get everything finished, you verify that the trailing edge itself is straight, in which I've got a long 3-foot long straight edge that I use and run along the trailing edge to make sure everything came out straight and true. So far I've been really happy with everything, both the left and right wings for the flaps and the ailerons. They've all come out really well. So here you're just putting in the trailing edge of the flaps together, and that closed those out. So now I'm on to the aileron, and again, this will be the last major component for the wings other than the small innards stuff. Going through, I had started part of this aileron when I was working on the right wing aileron. This skin that you see here I had already completed a couple of years ago, and I had also done some of the other components. So a lot of this was kind of catching up. What did I do? As I've explained in a couple of videos before, since all of my moves, every time I get to a new chapter, I kind of have to look and see what have I done and where did I leave off, just to make sure I'm catching everything. For the most part, it took a second just to verify where I was, where I thought I was. A couple times it caught me where I didn't get something done that I thought I had already accomplished. So it's just a matter of catching up, and that's kind of the they always talk about, work on it as much as you can, even if just for 15 minutes a day, just so you're constantly doing something, and so you make sure you know exactly where you left off. Whereas here, it's been probably almost 2 years since I actually did anything with the ailerons, so I had to kind of catch up. Anyway, so now just kind of putting everything together, making sure everything fits. This steel leading edge weight is a pain here. You see me drilling into the steel from where the brackets, the ribs, the forward ribs will mount to it, and it's kind of a pain to get. You have to have this, as you see on my drill there, I've got that, I want to say it's a foot long, I think it's the 30, the size 30 drill bit, but you have to be able to get to reach some of those holes. You have to have that long drill bit and have the flexibility of it, but you also want to make sure you don't ream out the hole for the rib, so you have to kind of be really careful with it. Got through all that process. Now I'm starting to put everything together, as you see here, using the blind rivets to hold everything, and then now getting I think this is the top skin for the aileron, getting it ready. As I've talked to you many times before, I only prime the contact surfaces. I don't believe that you have to paint the entire surface, and I use this SEM primer with the etching acid already in it, so it helps to make sure that you get a good bond. I've not had any negative experience with it. I did try to use another brand. I don't remember which one it was, but I wasn't very happy with it. It flaked off pretty easy. This SEM stuff is pretty decent. So long as you do your prep work and get the surface all clean and all that, it does pretty well. So now I'm just installing all of the ribs on the skin for the aileron and getting it ready to finally put everything together. So with the holidays coming up, like I said, I've not had a lot of time to work on this project. I'm hoping to start getting into it after the New Year's, and hopefully January I can really start putting some time toward it to get everything done. I would like to have everything complete before I get the fuselage kit, but if not, the wings aren't going anywhere, so it's not that big of a deal if I can't get it. But like you see, the wingtips sitting there in the background. It's just small stuff like that. So hopefully I'll be able to get it done, and it shouldn't take too long. Now, as I'm putting all this together, like I said, for the holidays, especially with the coronavirus and everything going on, everything's kind of limited in what you can do. I actually decided to take my daughter, who's 14, and we're going to go snowboarding. Now, it's been probably 20 years since I've last gone snowboarding, and so it'll be fun. We're going to go up to Mount Hood and try out the slopes and see if I can get her interested in getting outdoors and away from her phone. As every other teenager, that's the big vice, and trying to get her to kind of experience the outdoors like I did when I was a kid. One of the nice things of moving back here, very close to all the things that I did when I was growing up, and so trying to get my kids to kind of experience those same things. So hope is to get her excited about going snowboarding and getting up to the mountains and outdoors and all that kind of stuff, and then hopefully kind of get her more involved in this stuff. If I can get her out of the house to the mountains, I sure as heck should be able to get her out to the shop and help me with this project a little more. So it'll be a lot of fun. So now I'm closing up the aileron here, and as you see here now, I'm using that same digital level to make sure that there's no twist in the aileron. Just kind of check it everywhere and make sure that the framework is all pretty set. And then now just doing all the final riveting to attach the skins to the aileron spar, and then here in a minute you'll see me start to put the trailing edge piece in. Now the trailing edge piece uses the two-sided sticky tape. That allows you to kind of set everything, and it's what you see me doing here. Once I get it all put in place and riveted, clecoed, you'll see that I cleco every other one on the opposite side of the aileron. And I don't know if it actually does anything, but it seems to me like that would help keep it straight. And the pressure points from the clecos are equally distributed on both sides of the trailing edge here. So that's what you see me doing here. And then at the very end, I'll put that straight edge back along just to make sure everything's tied in, kind of make sure it's all straight, and then finish riveting this out. So I'm not going to show the whole finish of this. After this video, everything's complete, and I'll get a video and show everything on the wings. So anyway, it was fun putting this all together. Hopefully I can get some of these out a little sooner coming up, but I am still working on the project. It's slow going, but we'll get things going. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.